starting to get late here in London, and we have ourselves the Elimination Bracket Finals set. Optic Gaming coming from the Elimination Bracket semifinals, beating SSG, and then just watching Shopify fall short in the Winners Bracket Finals. It's Clutch, joined by Dave himself, the man, the myth, the legend. You played in plenty of Elimination Bracket Finals. Actually, you probably went through the Winners Bracket success, but I'm sure at some point you find yourself in this matchup coming from both ends. One, a nice Elimination Bracket run on the side of Optic, and Shopify, they fell short and have got to be a little devastated about how that series in the Winners Bracket Finals went. Dave, who are you favoring coming in based off the different trajectories that both these two teams have?
I mean, like you said, one of these teams came out from winning the elimination semis. The other one handily got beat in the Winners Bracket Finals. Now, I'm actually favoring Optic because of this. Yes, we've seen Shopify play well. Have we seen them step up to the level where they're consistently beating these top three squads in the form of Space Station, FaZe, and Optic? I have yet to see that. We've seen it once. They can absolutely do it again. Prove it today to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you got to prove it. The pedigree of Optic Gaming and the accolades that they have been there, done that. They have weathered storms in the past. We don't know that of Shopify just yet, but as we take a look at the series layout, we're starting this one off on Strongholds, Recharge, and then you have Live Fire, Slayer. So these are the two game types that will probably dictate early momentum. What are you thinking Shopify need to do early on in this series to weather the storm and kind of create some kind of a momentum? Because if they don't win one of these two games, this series could get ugly quick.
Well, one thing you and I were talking about on the side prior to this match is when we were watching Shopify versus FaZe, it felt like there was plenty of times throughout the neutral game or when they're on their back foot that they did fine against FaZe. You know, they were able to answer back with a couple kills. But it felt like they never were able to actually ever take control of the game. It never felt like they got all four down and were going for spawn kills and dominating any sort of fashion like that. At some point, you need those runs. Halo is a game of ebb and flows. You're going to have those times where you're on the back foot and you're taking losses, you're taking hits. But you also need to have your gains. You have those times where you are getting significant advantages as you get the team on their spawns, as you get the power weapons, and we weren't really seeing that from Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, I think it's a superstar league, and clearly the FaZe superstars stepped up in that Winners Bracket Finals. Frosty having so many highlight clips, a superstar that FaZe needed to step up. On the side of Shopify, they may not be household names, but is there a potential superstar on Shopify that you're looking for early in this series to start making some noise and give his team a little bit more light?
Well, I mean, suppressed throughout the tournament was KD leader up until this moment. And then also you look at the rest of that roster. I mean, there's nobody that's on that squad that can't step up, that can't slay. But if I had to pick out a specific individual, I mean, I'll go with the words out SoulSnipe's mouth himself. He said Cykul is the best player in the game. Well, if he's the best player in the game, let's see him step up to that.
Cykul has also been at the top of a lot of our leaderboards throughout this weekend. I feel like I didn't get to see much of his point of view throughout that entire series. I know it was a fairly quick one, and we're going to showcase the winning team most of the time, or the team in the lead in favorable positions. But yes, Cykul, a player that had a fairly quiet Winners Finals. Can he turn it around? Can Shopify turn it around? Or is the Green Wall's momentum through this elimination bracket after beating SSG? One knock off the list, one knock on the door. The second step to Optic Gaming's run to the Grand Finals starts here and now against Shopify Rebellion. And we're kicking this one off at Strongholds Recharge. The camouflage is traditionally the point of focus here early on this map, and as we kick gameplay off, I love the idea of starting with Lucid. He was on fire against SSG in that game 4.
Yes, the 2022 MVP. Let's see what he can do off the beginning of here on Recharge. Looking at both these teams so far throughout the 2024 season, when it comes to Strongholds Recharge, we've seen Optic, they're 1-0, whereas Shopify Rebellion are 0-1, so very small sample size.
All right, early momentum, early kills going in the favor of Shopify, and who else but Cykul to find 3 kills early on. SoulSnipe's going to be able to get B, but as he goes back into pipes, he's going to get his life taken from him and lose the shock rifle as well. A great job by Deadzone to prioritize the player with the power weapon in hand on on Shopify Rebellion.
We're going to see what Cykul decides to do up here. Look at just these non-stop peek shots. even when down in shield, even when down to nearly one shot, still just going to challenge that and be a nuisance, taking up so much attention. Both Deadzone and Formal didn't know what they could really do there. They decided to opt on different fights. Deadzone eventually gets taken down, but Cykul, just a non-stop turret here over at the tower at control.
Top Rep one shot, Needle one shot, Needle dead, Needle one shot again. Cykul dealing so much damage to these players. He's gonna run out of ammo, Dave. He's only got 8 shots left. He needs to find somebody's dead corpse to run over. Is it going to be this player bottom elevator? I think he actually ran out of ammo there. That fight a little too difficult. As Deadzone able to get the better of him, but the damage has been done, and it was an early lead for Shopify. But since then, A and B went in the favor of Optic, and they have recently taken the lead.
But goes to show how many shots he's laying across the map, all that he did towards that killing spree. But that's also a bit worrisome when you see those sprees. As we talked about before, Wes, you want to see your team gaining some sort of lead. So you don't want to see your team equalizing somebody out as you're getting a spree, as you're laying those shots across the map, and as you're staying alive.
Yeah, maybe needs to pick up the pace a little bit. If you're about to run out of ammo, that probably means you've got success in your favor early in the game. But Optic, the more efficient team so far, 56 and 18 to climbing is the score. Mental has made his way into blue pipes with the new camouflage. Second camo of the game goes to Shopify, and he's going to get behind enemy lines. One player on Optic Gaming to deal with here. He's going to do just that. Gets knocked to no shield, but he's going to be able to play his life.
Yeah, and an interesting route, because I feel like as you have the camo, you can be taking a bit more open route, especially when you have the opposing team so far down. But must have known that Deadzone was going to be sneaky back there and wanted to secure that kill and make sure no one slipped around through blue pipes.
Cykul hitting a nice shock rifle shot there from the third person point of view, as he continues to build momentum. 6-2-2 and suppress 5-2-2 right behind him. Both Shopify Slayers stepping up in this first game. Almost a tied game now. It is a tied game, and Shopify with A and B controlled will now gain the lead.
2 down apiece. Formal feels like the play is going to be at elevator. Decides to flank on and then jumps into the hill. Not just yet. Want to see if we can angle or some sort of damage first. Feels like it's too good to be true. Trying to find out where the Shopify resistance is going to come in from.
Just as Shopify take the lead, Optic strip it right back. A, B now in the control of Optic Gaming. Formal anchoring this elevator position, able to pick up those platforms before they get taken from him or they get shot. Formal with a lot of responsibility. He is by himself on this side of the map. You can see the rest of Optic Gaming over towards the pipes and batteries area right now. Formal is on an island and needs to be careful.
Yeah, he's waiting for his teammates to call someone out on catwalk. He doesn't want to be the first one to meet the resistance of someone in control. Wants his teammates to lay down that damage first, and then he gets the finish. They bait that trap in that open path.
Yeah, Formal doesn't overstep that entrance into bottom elevator right there. Plays his life so well, able to stay alive, and it has really been him just anchoring this A stronghold for his team as the rest of Optic Gaming have been doing work across the map. There's a trip cap now in effect. The points are starting to climb. The camo god himself, TriPPPeY, has found himself the third camo of the game, and Optic are rolling.
This is going to be a tough one for Shopify to break out of. They're trying to desperately capture B. This can sometimes go out well, but if you just give up the deaths anyways, and Optic recaps it, that can be all for naught. That's going to be B being converted, B getting grabbed back by Optic. What can Shopify do to break out of this? Looks like they're finally able to break out of that bad spawn over at pipes. They're now getting elevator, and they get to at least slow down the damage, but same point, they need to get a second hill.
Look at the difference in camo success right there that we've seen from Optic and Shopify so far. You saw the play. Cykul only able to get 1 kill, and it immediately gets traded away with his camo. TriPPPeY gets 2 kills and an assist during this trip cap. That camo has given him all of the space and all of these points. Now up over 100.
And just like that, Shopify, they decide to go fully on the offensive. Optic read the play, and they convert on over at A and get trip cap. There was 0 resistance there from Shopify because they were more concerned about getting pipes and getting B. And because of it, now a temporary trip cap.
191 and climbing, and Tommy Wilson is on a tear. 13-3-5, Lucid back to MVP form, and he started hot against SSG, and you have got to be aware of how special of a player this is when he gets rolling.
Yeah, and every single time you see Shopify Rebellion trying to break out of this position, a player gets picked off, and all of a sudden they're trying to make this push without suppress. Cykul somehow getting a kill onto TriPPPeY. This could be the opportunity they need, but just as I say that, SoulSnipe falls. Killing frenzy for Lucid. and just everything going right for Optic Gaming. Suppressed doing everything he can, trying to fight off players from the B Stronghold. Gets the kill and playing that London-style objective because he's in it.
3 go down for Optic. Lucid's first death in about 5 minutes probably will result in Shopify finally getting control. They're going to get a camo as well, and they are going to have a trip cap to play around. This is the moment that Shopify can win this game, can come back, but it's got to be perfect.
They have to play this right, just like you said, Wes. They cannot charge and give up free kills, but they do need to continue to press this advantage. Cykul, one shot with camo. Is he going to get that finish? Somehow the nade does not connect. Re-engages against Lucid, gets the help he needs, and there's the 2 pickups. No trip cap, but still, they are doing great right here.
Yeah, I like this play by Cykul. You need a trip cap if you want to plan on coming back against a team like Optic Gaming at this time. The last 2 players for Optic are stuck back blue. The collapse is coming in. The respawners are already in A. So now you have to get C because Optic now have A and C. You will be able to get C, but defending B while getting C right now because those kills took so long is going to be so difficult.
Yeah, you called out perfectly there. It's just because the kills took too long. If they could have executed that faster, but they met too much hot firepower from Optic there. The fight dragged on too long and spawns got across the map, so you can't hold a trip cap. You need stronger forces across the map in order to keep a trip cap.
240 and climbing, one last hoorah here from Shopify Rebellion, and Optic will take game 1. A trade from Lucid is everything you want to see from the Green Wall fans, as the rest of the players are no shield, no problem, not in a stronghold. Game 1 goes to Optic.
Not the start you want to see if you're Shopify Rebellion. Same time, we did see a moment of hope there. You know, at the end where they got that trip cap and they were forced to press it. I feel like it's generally a situation they would not have charged, but they realized that they were down by about 100, 120 points. They needed to have a larger run, so they went for high risk, high reward.
Yeah, you got to get those players out of back blue faster, and unfortunately for Shopify fans, it took too long, and you also traded multiple members in order to get those kills. And the numbers advantage, the timings, they were all off from that point. Optic Gaming playing the situation perfectly as well. You got to give credit to the players that were back blue for playing their lives a little bit longer, allowing their teammates to respawn and get A so that the trip cap continuously was stalled, and you know if Optic buy enough time with that significant of a lead, they'll figure out a way to close it out.
Yeah, you just had to keep pressuring them, and just comes down to execution at some points there. Little, too late, but all good there, because Shopify Rebellion get to try to answer here on Live Fire Slayer. This game mode fairly evenly matched as far as the recent stats we've seen within the 2024 circuit. It is 3-2 for Optic and 3-1 for Shopify Rebellion, if I remember that correctly.
Shopify Rebellion's stats in Slayers is where my mind goes when I see a game 2 in this series. Shopify have been the best Slayer team throughout the early year of 2024, and right now they need to rely on their biggest strength, what is that Slayer, to get right back into the series. They have lost 4 straight maps now here on Championship Sunday, and you're starting to wonder, are we ever going to wake up? What's that got to feel like from them after getting bounced from the winners finals, being in such a promising position, such a hopeful position, waking up today and getting ready for this tournament, and now all of a sudden, not only did you lose that first series the way you did, game 1 was not close.
Yeah, this has got to be the best position that some of them have ever entered a Sunday for a lot of these players on Shopify Rebellion. And like you said, they have to go with those ebbs and flows. If you take your hits from someone like FaZe, you need to be able to bounce back. We know that a lot of these other top rosters can bounce back. You've seen someone like SSG be down 2-0 in a series.
Several times.
Don't count them out just yet. Whereas I don't have that same installation of confidence yet in Shopify Rebellion. If I see them go down 0-2 again here, I don't feel like that comeback is as likely. So you really need to get some form of momentum back. Why not do it here in the Live Fire Slayer? Don't put yourself in the impossible situation. Don't make it a better story. Just get to the end of the story.
Well, let me tell you, an impossible situation might start with Lucid getting the S7 at the start. He's found himself the snipe, and let me tell you, this kid, when I get him on my team in matchmaking, he goes off with this weapon in this mode. starting to pop off right now. Lucid doing Lucid things. He's going to lose his entire team right now. Can he deny Camo by himself? He hits the body shot, but unfortunately, because all of Optic are coming off respawn, the Camo guy's going to get away, but not everyone's getting away. Lucid's starting to rip heads.
Just so tough. You do everything right against this guy, and he can just sometimes hit shots like that.
He's just better. Such a special talent, and denying the power weapon is step one. Once that weapon is in his hands, you can almost guarantee fireworks are yet to come. A 6-4 lead as the game slows down. Lucid's going to be trying to play his life. I believe that's probably the Camo player getting behind enemy lines. Suppressed, taking the snipe out of Lucid's hands, does the biggest job, step one, for this team to get back into this.
Suppressed for everything right there. I only just saw that from the kill feed, but I saw Suppressed got a back smack prior to that. Somehow catches Lucid off guard, gets the kill on the sniper, and a couple bullets in their hands.
Assuming Suppressed was the Camo player, his Camo probably ran out as we went to his point of view. Those couple of kills, though, put Shopify in a much more manageable state. Snipe out of the hands of Lucid is everything Shopify wanted to see here. 10-9 the score. Optic still up 1. Trades across the board will make it even at 10.
Mental winning that huge 1v1 against Lucid. As they're both one shot, Lucid had the positional advantage. Mental still just keeping calm there, getting that last headshot onto Lucid, and is rewarded with top tower. One last step.
The one veteran on the squad, the one with championship pedigree, Mental. Can he get his team back into championship form on Champ Sunday with some play of his own? Great job anchoring this tower position, finding kills. 3 go down for Optic, and Shopify find their first lead in the series.
1 kill lead. They'll take it, though. Now, they had 3 dead. I'm curious, were they going to press that advantage a little bit more? It looks like Formal takes out this first kill on Suppressed, but I'm a bit surprised here. It feels like they had an advantage. They just kind of felt really stagnant there, at least just watching it from that one POV from Mental.
3 dead on both sides here. The battle for Camo is everyone's focus right now. Suppressed is going to win his one-on-one against Lucid. That's a big one, as this Camo is still up at its spawn. But still more work to do for Shopify to try and acquire this Camo. The pressure from Optic respawners is here. Deadzone and TriPPPeY find kills, and that should be an Optic Camo grab.
This Deadzone jumping up. I believe his teammate grabbed that Camo, and then it's hightail it out of there. See who can stay alive. Everyone scatter.
Lucid was the one that grabbed the Camo. Lucid actually got taken down. A respawner for Shopify had to hit a route and took down Lucid before he could get away with that Camo. Massive kills over towards the screens there to deny that Camo opportunity for Optic Gaming. Now SoulSnipe with Snipe in hand finds himself back tower and a 3-kill lead.
SoulSnipe hitting a nasty angle down there over near the nest. Gonna keep trying to get some picks here. Don't want to see those trades, but it looks like Suppressed just gonna take out Lucid for now a 6-kill lead. This is actually a healthy lead that we've seen for the first time.
I want to see how Shopify play this, and as I say that, they lose 2 members, pushing as their sniper is still anchoring the tower position. He's forced to throw it off. I hate that play by Shopify Rebellion. If I am SoulSnipe, I am commanding the troops, sit back and let me go to work. That snipe gets neutralized, removed from their hands. A good job by SoulSnipe to play it, but you have to take advantage in that situation, because now you're looking that what was once a 6-kill lead in snipe control is now a 2-kill game just in Shopify's favor.
Yeah, one articulation I used to hear before is, who's winning the trade right now, or who's winning the stalemate? And if your team is coming out ahead by playing it calm, just let your sniper do the work, let your Camo do some work. Of course, you don't just turtle up and hide, but you're not going to try to force a play unless you know you have the guarantee or opportunity.
What I wanted to see was them push a lane that the sniper can watch over, so that you have everybody cohesively playing together. SoulSnipe caught out in that position of being able to impact the play. The game now 31-all as combat still ensues. These back pillars, Mental playing his life, but too many members of Optic will give Optic the lead back in their favor, 32-31.
Yeah, that's a bit devastating, because I do feel like, yes, Optic executed and ended up getting the kills, but I don't feel like they do anything miraculous there to break out of that situation where Shopify had the advantage. It just felt like Shopify were having success being aggressive and stepping on the gas, but they got punished for it. and they got punched in a time where they could have calmed it down for just a little bit.
The big thing to pay attention to as Shopify becomes the team they are they able to understand and read the state of the game at all times and make correct decisions based on that? A little bit of premature pushing there has costed them dearly in this game. They will regain the lead with a clean 3 kills on the Optic Gaming. Shopify back in the driver's seat. So even with those mistakes, continuing to have a puncher's chance here in game 2.
And right here, Mental unaware if any other members of Optic have somehow pushed across bridge or across nest to get close to him. That was a situation that there could have been maybe more pressure over towards green, but now it's going to be a couple separate fights. It's going to be Mental fighting on his own near nest bridge, and his teammates fighting on their own over at green, but it doesn't matter. Somehow they're cleaning up all these kills. TriPPPeY the last one alive here for Optic.
It might not have been flashy, but that was an amazing play by Mental to get his team this 3-kill lead. He got 2 players in no shield, distracted a third, had everyone on Optic's attention, and the rest of Shopify were able to pounce and get the kills they needed to capitalize on Mental's damage. He didn't get a single stat from that play, but that was a game-changing play the way he played that life.
SoulSnipe, second sniper in hand, and gets just barely juked out there by TriPPPeY. You're not getting those unfortunate lunges for or against you here. This is LAN, and that spacing is so crucial. 2 snipers in SoulSnipe's hands, 2 snipers out of his hand. Not totally effective there.
What a big kill from TriPPPeY, because ever since then, Optic have had map control and space to play around. Respawners to Shopify were spawn killed. 44 now to 41. Optic have taken a 3-kill lead.
And TriPPPeY now the new target they're calling out. Cykul able to neutralize TriPPPeY. Sniper back on C flat. Whichever team can get that slow it down is in prime position. Yes, it's a 2-kill game. But still, that sniper can easily help close out these final moments.
TriPPPeY's going to push by the middle. Formal looking over his shoulder, but Formal, not to no shield, is able to stay alive with the nades. Mental, his chance with the ES7. First time this game, hits the body shot on the Formal, trying to push a bridge. There's a player below Mental as well. 2 players below Mental as well. Optic, flank back tower, take down that sniper. Cykul gets the camo, but at what cost? The rest of his team gets flushed out. Suppressed, somehow able to play his life back tower, make it a 1-kill game. Now Cykul, camo in hand, can make the play for Shopify.
And they found TriPPPeY over on the side. I was worried if that was going to be the flank that could end the game there in favor of Optic. 49-48. Camo no longer in play. So how does Cykul and crew decide to play this? They just have to somehow get 2 clean kills before Optic can get a trade out.
No power up, no power weapon to play around right now. Snipe and camo are not a part of the conversation. Optic turtled up in the house. The problem here is Shopify will eventually be the team that needs to make a play, and the kill time on the Bandit will erase a member of Shopify if they are caught out alone right now. So Shopify need to be so careful about their spacing.
Yeah, Shopify right now are also deducing where Optic can possibly be. They're checking a few of those corners. They're making sure there's no one at Van. They're checking Rat Tunnel. They're just making sure nobody has slipped by and seeing if they can get some sort of free kill. As they slowly eliminate each of those locations, they might decide that, all right, they're all stuck here. Let's make a charge.
Optic are on the move, starting to create some space. Formal making his way bottom middle. Nobody top middle in the hole, he says. Let's clear out dummies. And now this is the moment. Suppress jumps up top tower. Nobody watching the dummy rip. Suppress gets got out. He turns the corner, though. No shield. Formal trying to play his life now. Forced to back up. Optic Gaming are around Formal. They're going to back up, go back into house. A risk by Optic Gaming almost pays off in their favor, but everybody makes it out alive, unscathed, and now camo may become a part of the conversation if this goes back into a stalemate.
Everyone's too timid to commit right there. No one wants to make that game-changing mistake over commitment. I did like that play by Optic, though. They're always so tricky with some of these situations as they seem to be fully turtled up, and then they feel like, all right, we're going to push out, a minute or 2 minutes later and catch someone off guard. Camo coming up soon, though. Let's see how this decides this fate.
Good God, Shopify.
I feel like this camo, everyone's just treating it as bait. Right now, no, Optic sure could go and grab that, but everyone's kind of on the outskirts. They're kind of waiting to see who's going to make a move, who's going to be in this next position that can see it, but no one's really going to be going for it.
Yeah, Formal actually just sits back. Camo is up right now. Shopify are staring at it, but they have no intention of going for it because they know if they were to go for it, they will lose one player. That is too open of an area, too exposed of an area to try and get out of. All of Optic going to be in a prime time position here. A few members of Shopify starting to move up on the cuts. They're going to back up to tower. Nobody's going to try to make the play just yet. Several players on Shopify receiving damage now. A lot of information for Optic to play around. I will not be surprised if they start to move around the map.
Also keep in mind, everyone's going to be pretty fully loaded when it comes to like grenades, secondaries, pistols, plasma pistols. Everyone's had time to gather those gadgets across the map, so it's going to be a firefight when this goes down.
Eventually, time becomes a factor. A minute on the clock, and all of a sudden, Shopify have a realization that they are going to have their hand forced at some point. The 1 kill difference allows Optic the comfort of sitting back and waiting for what Shopify has to say about it.
And Lucid getting a couple shots on the side, realizing that he's going to be a target. If he's got shot that much, did that camo get snagged? Did that actually get snagged? I have to double check on that one.
Camo gets snagged.
Somehow by Suppressed.
Suppressed.
The cojones on this guy in a 49-48 game.
The plasma pistol is actually a weapon that this camo player wants in his hand. This could be the moment. Where is Optic Gaming? 3 players on his team sandwiching big door, but Optic are out of dodge. Optic got out. They snuck to the rat hole. They made it all the way to tower. The camo's gonna run out soon, and Suppressed with 10 seconds has to make the play. He gets the kill on the dice. All of Optic are at tower.
Oh, no.
Deadzone and Optic Gaming get the kill off screen. And oh my God, the chess, the decisions that was being played during that game too is actually incredible.
Those Optic rotates are so difficult to play against because it's not like Optic says, we're gonna move out to the 30-second mark, the 1 minute mark. They give us some time in a neutral stalemate, and they say, all right, enough time has passed. We can try to slowly make a move here, try to make a push. And that catches teams off guard when they're trying to just go by standard variables.
Throughout all of that chaos, it's all about the information you're gaining at every single second. How Optic read the 3 big door, 1 camo guy top middle push, and somehow chose the 1 lane.
Got that where nobody is at, yes.
Yeah, the 1 lane. What a decision made under the most pressure that they will ever see in those final seconds is unbelievable. And Optic continuing to make perfect decisions now put themselves up 2-0 here in the Elim Finals.
What a beautiful ending of Halo we just got to watch there.
That was chess.
Suppressed was able to grab that camo. The rotation from Optic, realizing that they're gonna collapse in, it's gotta be up high.
That was chess right there, and Optic, the kings of chess here today, so far in their elimination bracket finals, win yet another close game, another step closer to a grand finals for the Green Wall. And as we take a look at the highlights back and forth, these 2 teams went, exchanging leads several times across the way. But it was those final minutes that the games turned into a stalemate. Minor damage at best was being dealt. 1 attempt from Optic to push up the dummy ramp. A risk taken, but somehow everyone gets out with their lives. Although Formal and Suppressed and several members were in gunfights and very exposed positions, they somehow all ceased fire, reset the map, and at the end there, Suppressed thought he probably got his team the game-winning play, and unfortunately, that's what I was afraid of. Just 49 is so different than 48. No room for error, and that little wiggle
Can't
room.
go for a melee, can't do none of that. One thing I did see in the kill feed there was Deadzone got that final kill. It was a melee onto Mental. So if I had to guess what happened, I'm guessing Deadzone perfectly trapped something like dummy door or some location like that where someone's running through just unsuspecting, gets that 3-shot melee, ends the game.
Yeah, it really is the big difference between 49 and anything under 49. You have at least 1 death to give up. And so Optic, the win conditions in their favor, the time in their favor, 10 seconds on the clock. If there's 15 seconds, Suppress might not go for the guy on the box. He might be able to have a little bit more time to kill the guy top tower first and then be behind everybody, but he goes for the first kill he knows he can get, and during that time is where Optic pounced and ended the game in their favor.
So well done there by Optic. Valiant effort there by Shopify Rebellion. Backs against the wall, 0-2. We talked about so many squads having that veteran, that veteran leader or that history of coming back from the situations. I think Shopify still has to prove that, and what a better location to do that than here at HCS London. For mid-CTF, this game is going to go on for a minute.
What a better map to see from Shopify's point of view. They dominated SSG on this map yesterday, 3-0, and it was fast. Mental went off with Snipe. Mental starts the game with Snipe, puts it to work. 3 go down for Optic, and it should be an early overshield grab for Shopify.
Mental deciding to back over towards his
It's actually Penguin that gets it.
Deadzone has that OS and is trying to just go back in the base, clear out this member. Wants to first be defending on his side. Now that his base is cleared out, decides to push on out. The top target both these teams are going to be opting for is, can they take over the opposing snipe hut? Can they just get them spawning over in the back base or towards sewers? Snipe hut's going to be that spot that you can really guard your flag, where you can guard the run.
Yeah, so traditionally do we see that flag going under the snipe route from these top teams, and that's where you want to have control of if it's yours, and that's what you want to control if it's the other teams. Right now, the duel of snipes is between Lucid and Mental still. They're going to concede here as they're going to relocate, knowing that each other are looking for each other, but Lucid wants to get active and find someone. Unfortunately, he found Cykul. Cykul found him first, and Cykul takes down Lucid to give the S7 advantage to Mental and the boys on Shopify.
Looks like Mental deciding to reposition over towards back flag. Generally, he has been over at snipe, but just trying to see whatever picks and damage he can get. This is actually fairly dangerous here for Shopify. Even though they're getting some kills here, they're stuck in the back of their base. This is almost just equivalent to spawning.
Yeah, defense wins championships, but we need to win games if you want to get back into this Shopify. Right now, playing defense is not a recipe for success because Optic will bend and eventually break you in half right now. 2 steps of the 3-step process to get to the grand finals is already underway. Lucid might miss the flag run, maybe a little on purpose, because Lucid, we know he's better without the flag in hand as his teammate able to get that flag on the move.
Like my hand, I haven't washed my hands recently. I don't want to pick it up.
I didn't grab it. I didn't grab it.
Dude, yeah.
Oh no, I have to shoot my gun.
Oh, you got it, man? All right, you got it.
Yeah,
So
you got it.
It's on your way, right?
All right, 2 dead. That's usually what Lucid's saying. It's TriPPPeY, the best flag runner on Optic, gonna punch this one in. 4-0-2 for TriPPPeY right now. Allowing Tommy Wilson to do his thing, of course, and TriPPPeY doing his, punching that first flag in, and now with 9:20 on the clock, time not a factor, but Optic getting to play from a lead this early in the game, that's got to concern you.
So comfortable. I mean, the other part that's concerning is Shopify, like I said, they were just playing defense. It's one thing to like go back in your base and clear someone out at a certain moment in time, just to get the extra safety. It's a different thing to be playing from the back of your base. You essentially eliminate the situation where the opposing team has to kill you twice to be a factor in that flag run. Instead, they only had to kill Mental once, and then they got to run the flag, versus killing Mental once over at Snipe Bridge or top ramp, and then having to kill him off the spawn.
Yeah, you're allowing free progression on the map, and right now, Suppress denying some free progression, but that flag next to Lucid, as he returns it, Suppressed and the boys on Shopify had a flag on the move, but nobody was able to take down Lucid before he could return that flag. A frustrating moment for Shopify. Suppressed did find the kill. It just wasn't on the right side of the map once again. Another map being reset. Snipe in the hands of TriPPPeY. 5 bullets to work with. And as he narrowly misses Mental, the battle for map control is an important one because this overshield coming up is a power swing that you think at this point in the series, Shopify are going to need.
Yeah, TriPPPeY trying to help get some kills over at the opposite snipe. Suppressed behind enemy lines again. Also getting the help he needs.
Ooh.
Where did he get his help from? This could be so huge for Shopify. They got so many kills. They just killed TriPPPeY. TriPPPeY's not going to be any sort of factor in this flag run, and they're running it sewer.
Yeah, they're running it through the sewers. It's a long road to cap this flag. Optic are spawning towards the snipe, but look at what Cykul has in his shield. The overshield top middle goes to Shopify. I said they needed it. Now they need to put it to work. Foremost playing his life so well right there with the snipe, and Deadzone behind enemy lines has been able to stop this flag. They need to take down Deadzone, but Formal's going to get impactful here. He's on the plat. Cykul focuses on the Formal, trades across the boards, but that flag still neutralized.
Yeah, the flag's not in the greatest location. In fact, I would love to see them maybe run towards back cut and then go all the way back through Mohawk, but we'll have to see how and when they're going to get this touch. They get the touch. That's enough kills on the board. You should be able to see this move back through back Mohawk. We will see here soon, though.
Now they're going to have to get one more set of slides. Two players on their street right now to deal with. This flag is not going to go in until a couple of kills go in Shopify's favor. Formal does go down, so that's the start to something great. Deadzone goes down as well. Lucid has a long journey to try and impact this fight. TriPPPeY goes down, and that's going to do it. That's Shopify's moment to tie this game 3 up.
Such a great play all around, especially by Suppress there. First one getting that double kill and pushed into the Optic base. Eventually, somehow staying alive long enough from, I believe that was TriPPPeY who was trying to hunt him down. And then they just run that flag towards sewers. Once they got it back on their half of the map, they just realized they can trade kills, and in theory, they'll eventually get the flag moving fast.
And what a big moment. Finally, some momentum for Shopify. Down 0-1 now, tying this up. If that flag got returned, you know Shopify would have been pretty gassed from the situation that occurred. That was a fight they needed to cap to get this game tied up, to give them some belief that they can make this comeback a reality. Overshield and Snipes are both coming up, so all the power you could ask for to change the outcome of this game now favors Shopify. As Cykul picks up that Overshield, 2 players on the plat, Jiggle peeking. Cykul can't figure out a way to get either kill, and the Overshield gets removed. Lucid eventually goes down, but the other Optic player looks like he's on the flank. It's TriPPPeY. Cykul head on a swivel, able to get another assist. Great job by Cykul to use that Overshield to control top mid. It transitions into 2 kills.
And more importantly, that sniper was acquired. I believe it was by Deadzone or Formal. Yes, it's in the hands of Formal. That was the one thing you could see that Cykul originally was worried about, was throwing down that sensor
for good
over
reason.
At the opposite hut, just saying, all right, how do we eventually get control of that hut?
Because they got the first 2 kills. It was a 4-on-2, and somehow, some way, off-screen, Formal doing Formal things changes the outcome of the state of the game right there. It removes the map control from Shopify. But as I say that, SoulSnipe somehow takes down Formal from his flag with a snipe. SoulSnipe trying to do it all. Can't hit the shot, but the flag very advanced right now. Slay's gonna start to benefit Shopify as well. So honestly, a phenomenal play by SoulSnipe as he advances that flag so far towards this tunnel. The last 2 players from Optic need to get taken care of, though. Mental, trying to play his life around this pillar, is going to have help from SoulSnipe, who respawned as he plays his life, but it's just SoulSnipe up, and that touch won't come through. SoulSnipe will concede that flag, let it return, and the map resets. Again, a defensive stance by just 2 players on Optic in a 2v4 situation.
Yeah, and SoulSnipe did so much there. I mean, got the kill, got the flagpole, tossed it so far. You had to think he was just hoping or wondering if his teammate was going to be able to pick up one other extra piece in there to continue that flag.
And if they had, that flag would have probably been capped, but coulda, woulda, shoulda, didn't right now. The game ties tied, 4 minutes on the clock. Formal being an absolute terror right now in the base of Shopify. He is the last player alive. He is sandwiched by the last 2 players on Shopify, so a great job once again by Shopify to stand strong on their defense to keep this game tied, and they are rewarded with the next Overshield.
It feels like Cykul's the only one timing it.
Yeah.
Cykul every single time has been top center, ready to go for that Overshield and just grabbing it.
An advantage Shopify need. They've used it so often to try and get this map control, and this is the moment. This is the moment for Shopify. A kill with this Overshield. 3 go down on the side of Optic. It's just Lucid that's alive right now. He is able to kill Suppress. Cykul starting to receive damage. Respawners are surely on the way for Optic, so it forces the hands of Cykul. He goes down to TriPPPeY. Lucid, somehow, the last guy that was alive, yeah, he's a problem. He finds 2. Optic get the return.
And that is just a huge play by Lucid. Not only getting that opening kill, buying enough time for TriPPPeY to be a factor, and they just don't hesitate. They charge on over towards Snipe Slide / Sewer.
Wow.
And get the recov. And that, to me, I thought was a guaranteed Shopify flag. You know, once you're on that corner of Sewer and you have the kills, it's over.
Nothing's guaranteed against Lucid, apparently. Last man standing, I'll do it myself, he says. That flag stops because of him. Suppressed starting to pick up the plays, though. That commando shot on the player snipe, unbelievable. 21, 5, and 11, a +10 performance here as the game is still tied. 2.5 minutes. Next cap may be the deciding factor of whether Shopify gets to continue to play Halo this weekend.
Yeah, I was going to say, reality starts to sink in for probably both these teams. They're realizing that's likely just a one-cap game here. It's not going to go on that much longer. It's not going to be like one team's going to cap and the second team gets a great counter cap. Sure, that's very possible, but reality is set up one good, consistent push to get that cap, and it could start with this overshield popping in 5 seconds. You know who's there again. It's Cykul.
Last overshield of the game unless we go into overtime here, and Cykul tries to make his way towards that overshield. He gets taken down, so this time around we have to have a different story, surely. Suppressed able to get a kill to trade some things out, but it does look like Shopify and Optic still competing for this overshield. Deadzone gonna be able to get the kill, but not the overshield. I believe the overshield falls off the map there, and that's not gonna be a contributing factor to whether a cap gets scored here in regulation time. 1.5 minutes on the clock. Cykul spots out TriPPPeY, takes him down, gives his team man advantage momentarily. A second player down in this sewer area. Cykul's able to read this flank as he spots out Lucid. He tries to play his life, does a ton of damage, but somehow, some way, Lucid stays alive.
What is going on? Explosions all around. That's going to be 2 down. Formal and Lucid both taken out. Can Shopify Rebellion turn this into a better position? Can they get the opposing hut? Not going to really see weapons be much of a factor here at the end of this game. And looks like he has snuck behind, or is he?
Yeah, look at this route. He's behind enemy lines. A decent movie, but let's see if SoulSnipe can turn the Cykul into something special. As all of Optic is overextended, his flag's getting pulled. Unfortunately now, SoulSnipe realizes maybe my flank was a little bit too long. Maybe I was out of the play, but 3 go down for Optic. The damage that SoulSnipe was able to do actually promotes a flag opportunity. SoulSnipe, as those Optic members go down, he is in the enemy base to pull the flag, hasn't been touched yet, and is getting it through the tunnel. The return about to come through. Still members of Optic to deal with. TriPPPeY is going to be at his snipe. Lucid's going to be his top plat. Here comes Formal as well. What do you do in this situation? High pressure moments. He's going to go for it. It gets denied. Optic are here now. 2 dead. The touch comes through. The cap comes through. But a counter cap opportunity at what cost? Shopify Lucid's here. Running the flag. Taking half shield, but he turns the corner. This flag can go in. It's sudden death. We got a pie chart, for God's sake.
Are you kidding me? Somehow they get this counter pulled. The one thing I said that likely would happen.
It gets stopped.
Flag is down. Pie chart is counting down. Can someone get on for the touch? Deadzone gets the touch. Tries to run in. We got a flag standoff here at the Optic base. Mental, the only one alive. Deadzone trying to play this time as best he can. His teammate Lucid coming in to help get the counter cap, and that's going to bring us into an overtime.
You want more Halo? We'll give you some more Halo, at least here in Game 3. We're in overtime, sudden death, first cap wins, and the battle for Overshield is the first priority for everyone.
What a wild ending there. You saw Shopify were just like, we just got to get this cap in, and that's all we got to worry about. Not
4 dead.
How icy Optic could be. And somehow they get all 4 down.
They're still dead.
It does. This is going to be a tall order. I don't know how Suppress has angle. TriPPPeY slowing down. Could that be the difference here? He has unfortunately cost his team about 1 or 2 seconds here. Will it matter?
Oh.
Maybe, maybe not. Flag on the plat. Does Lucid go in, or does Lucid go for the slays? When in doubt, slay it out is always my mantra.
One player alive may have an angle to say something about it. Lucid playing his life. The kills come in. The caps come through. Formal lets them know you're going home. And Optic are going to the grand finals.
Just clutch after clutch there from Optic. Those games, especially the last 2, could have gone either way. We were treated to a 49-50 Slayer. We were treated to an overtime CTF. Well, all people are going to see in the future when they look at Liquipedia is they're going to see 3-0.
It's the same thing with FaZe and Optic in the last tournament in Arlington. Happens here to Shopify in this series. And these boys are going to feel pretty down right now with the opportunity that they know they let slip through their hands but sometimes you got to look at the positives. In a couple of weeks, it'll feel a little bit better, and they will understand that they truly belong in the top 3 conversation, in the top 4. No longer is it the big 3. There are 4 teams that can push each other the distance in any given game. The way that they beat SSG yesterday, the way that they just went toe-to-toe with a very hot Optic, tells you everything you need to know about the young guns over on Shopify. Sometimes you got to lose in the winners finals and the limb finals before you win a national championship. I'll be the first one to tell you that, Dave.
Oh, I thought you were going to go originally with, after the big 3, it's just Big Me. The way you're looking in that shirt right now, Wes, you're looking real strong in that. But you are right, they have taken their beatings here today. Let's be real, those ones are heartbreaking. You know, they went today saying the absolute worst we can do is 3rd place. And nothing feels worse than taking the absolute worst you can do there. So they went to this event. They went today thinking this is our event. We're going to win it. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board, figure out what areas went wrong. They had moments of panic. They had moments they could have played better. Individually, we saw shots. We saw things go very well for them, but just not as clean and polished and mechanical as some of these other top rosters.
As Optic prepare for another grand finals, they'll meet FaZe Clan, and if that series is anything like the games that those 2 have played so far at majors this year, we know we're going to see a lot more close games. We're going to see a lot more clutch plays, and the excitement is going to continue to create fireworks here in London. I'm hearing that Blaze has an interview with APG. I want to get his thoughts on how that series went.